What is up, everybody? Whoa, my camera is zoomed in today. Let's move that back. Can I move down a little lower? I hope you guys are all doing exceptionally well. It is Monday, July 26th at 2 p.m. here in sunny Florida. I've been on vacation basically for the last 10 days, and I'm going again soon because it's the end of the summer, and that's what you got to do. I spent last week at the beach and then the entire weekend at Seneca Lake up in New York. You guys might know what Seneca Lake is because it became famous in Bitcoin news recently because some idiot claimed that Greenidge Bitcoin mining facility there was putting so much waste into the lake from their Bitcoin mining that it was heating up the lake to levels like a hot tub. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. I went to check it out myself. I went right up to the facility, toured it, checked it out there, floated in the water around it. It's cold. The water's really cold. It would be the worst hot tub probably in the entire world. But this lake is 30 miles long from Geneva to Watkins Glen and about 3 miles wide and deep enough that there's an old submarine base in there for submarine training. And they reported in mainstream national news that the Bitcoin mining there was heating this epically massive lake to the temperature of a hot tub. And that's stupid. Not the case. But I learned to wake surf. That was awesome. One of the highlights of my summer, certainly. Spent an entire week not boiling in Seneca Lake. So, hope you guys are doing great. The bulls are back. Bitcoin is going. But before we dig in, what I'm going to do today is charts of the top 10 assets, not including stable coins, and see where the market is at. Try to get a good idea since we finally have some good news here. Finally, some good news. What a move. I was on my flight home last night. I boarded at 7:10 Eastern Standard Time. Bitcoin was like 34,000 something. And I landed for my connecting flight an hour and 40 minutes later. And Bitcoin was up like $5,000. It was amazing. I had to refresh. I was like, really? Really? For reals? And there we were. But first, guys, as you can see up in the corner and going along the bottom, Kava is the amazing sponsor of this live stream. Kava is absolutely the bomb. You guys need to check them out. There's a link down in the description. Basically, at the most basic level, if you don't know about them, it's DeFi built on an institutional grade platform. So, you don't have to worry about all the nonsense that you worry about with these small coins. Institutional grade, literally the biggest institutions in the world will be able to use it, and completely interoperable for every single blockchain they'll eventually be building onto. They basically have three different protocols in the platform. There's the Kava protocol, which is how you can mint stable coins and earn. The hard protocol, which is all of the borrowing and lending. And then coming up, they're going to have an AMM, sort of like a Uniswap competitor that will allow you to trade and gain liquidity and earn interest all in one place across every chain. Absolutely huge. Please click down below and check them out. Now, let's go in and dig into Bitcoin. Here we go. Well, first, here we got coin market cap. So the top 10 goes up to basically, there's three stable coins that would appear in the top 10 now. BUSD, USDC, and Tether. So maybe we'll go a bit deeper, but let's just start with Bitcoin. Also, my mouse is tripping. So I'm reaching over here left-handed on my laptop to do it. Wow, 39,319. First, let's look at the monthly, because the monthly is really, really interesting to me. We had a whole lot of drama about this candle here, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row in that epic bull trend. And then this candle here, which some call it evening star, I wouldn't usually need a gap up, and then the big candle down. But either way, this is a bullish reversal, sort of a high wave spinning top here, and then confirmation with the candle down. But as you can see, that month closed around 37 with that wick down and bounce up. Next month, opened around that same point, 37, obviously dipped down, as we know, below 29,000, but closed back here. That was at 35. Well, this month also managed to hold that level. We actually haven't had a monthly close below 35, and all three of these candles have big wicks down. This was a spinning top here as well, high wave spinning top. And then this month, which is not closed, we have 5 more days, so we don't know what it'll look like. But if it closes anything like this would be an epic hammer, would be a confirmation of a reversal here in theory, and should be heading up. So that's worth watching. Lowest volume, though, we've seen on a month in a very long time. It'll close probably higher than some of these back in 2019. We should get some more volume over the next days, but very, very low volume. But still, these are really signals of a potential reversal here. I'm mousing left-handed right now. It's really pretty impressive. Oh, I got my right hand back. As you can see, there was much talk also about the 50 MA here on the weekly. People saying we lost it. I said we held it as support. That's my view. Held as support here, right? And then, yes, it traded below, but it closed the week above. So to me, that's beautiful support. And now we'll see what's going on here with follow through. There's one more chart I want to pull up that I don't have here. Monthly channel. It should be it. This is the monthly again. I've shared this so many times. So you're probably nauseous. But look, we had the break of the EQ of this massive channel. Test here, test here. I said that held as support, and now we could potentially close back above the EQ. If that happens, that's how we start talking about 189,000, 200,000. Because if you hold the EQ of a channel and retest and head to the top, which is what should happen, bottom of the channel, flip to support, move up. That's how, as absurd as it sounds, we start getting these wild, wild six-figure targets, right? So let's go back to the weekly. And here's the daily. I mean, I don't know how many times I've showed you guys this blue descending channel and said that things are not as bearish as you think. Even though we're down, this was making a descending pattern, lower highs, lower lows, descending channel, very clear. And now we're going to see how the day closes on increasing volume. We may potentially have a breakout from that channel. End of the day, got to get above 42K for us to really start making a bullish case, in my opinion, right? Got to get above that, flip it. And then we can start talking. On the 4 hour, in the newsletter on Friday, I posted this ascending triangle. So I really think we're going up. There's a bit of a sort of inverse head and shoulders that was forming here that I pointed out. But I thought, wow, that's really trying to magnet there. Let's try it down here. But I really thought that meant we'd probably come down to here, and we never did. But clear breakout of the ascending triangle and right into this resistance that I've talked about so many times, where we failed every time. So right now we are at resistance, but looking good. But ultimately we need to get up above here. So everything here, 40,000, 42, right up to 43-ish at the top of this channel, all resistance. So there's a lot of resistance ahead, but hard not to feel optimistic. You should notice though, on every time frame up to the daily, we are overbought. We were oversold on every time frame up to the daily just a few days ago, a week ago. So now the 4 hour, I mean, we're looking at 86 RSI on the 4 hour chart, 6 hour, 88, 12 hour, 81, daily, almost actually overbought. I told you it will go from overbought to oversold. This was all bullish divergence popped up, right? We have this bullish, I don't have it on this chart. Maybe I have the line chart, but now this will hit overbought. So I'm not saying it can't continue up. There's a lot of room to go here. I mean, look, the daily got up to 90. This could still go, but you would expect when you start seeing this that we'll get some consolidation. So maybe we get a bit of consolidation under resistance here, and get sort of, let me erase these, maybe we kind of flag in here or something, make a bull pennant, and then eventually as RSI cools off and it goes sideways, we head back up. But there's a lot to like here. If I'm trading this right now, and guys, I put it out there publicly. I shared the buys. I put videos on it. People call me nuts. I was buying here. I was buying here recently. So I'm pretty loaded. But I'd buy again if it did this. Because I think that now we're squarely above on a volume candle like that, above the EQ. If we get a buy around 36,500 now, a retrace, this sort of flags here like this, does one of these. Yeah, I'm a buyer at 36. So that's where I'm watching now. Otherwise, at this point, I want to be above 42. That's really my view on Bitcoin for the moment. I'm going to come over real quick to the chat and see what you guys are yapping about over here. Oh, I forgot. Someone said they want to smash likes. Yeah, smash likes. I never ask you guys these to smash the likes or subscribe, but you should probably do that. Future Unchanged, he's here. He always lets us know when he's checking in, and he's here for the hopium. That's good. The worst scenario, sure, it's that this is a bull trap. It's not what I'm seeing, but the worst scenario, if you're looking at the monthly, just let's look at this. It's a good question. It's a fair question. If this broke down and you visited the bottom, you're talking about 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 as it continues. I don't think that's happening. But, if you had a black swan, kind of like March 2020, a COVID situation or something, and maybe, if you lost that, you could come to the bottom of the channel. I don't see that channel ever breaking down in the foreseeable future. But that would be a pretty negative scenario. And, I would not be at all surprised if this came down to 25, between 25 and 27, if this ultimately something proved bad. But this would be a 61.8% fib, which Bitcoin loves, would be 27,175 of the entire move from 3,800 up to 65,000. I've talked about this a million times, but anything 25 to 27-ish would be the golden pocket. So somewhere around here. And then ultimately, you have to be blind not to see this, right? But that's not even it. So I guess you would not have to be blind because that's not the right line. Let's look at this one. This is what I'm talking about, right? This was the all-time high of 2017, 19,891, never retested as support. So just like we talk about, 42 being retested, if it came down here and retested this, you would expect it to spring back up. So that would be a drop down to around 20,000. Below that, I don't see right now any feasible reason to expect it. But I would say those are the bearish scenarios. But like I always say, bullish and bearish are terms that need to be, specific to time. That's bearish in the short term, but I still think it would be going way up afterwards. So is that bearish? I don't think so personally. I'm going to drink this coffee right here. I know people don't like when I drink drinks. Ray has slowly and deliberately touched the like button. He did not want to smash it. Have you continued to DCA or did you sell majority of your holding a week ago? I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling Bitcoin ever. So when I buy it, I'm buying it for my kids. That's how it goes. Bitcoin pumping, but alts are not. Why? That's a good question. Here's Bitcoin dominance. When you see a huge move in Bitcoin, I talk about this all the time. It's why I think it's always important to look at the Bitcoin pairs on alts. If Bitcoin goes up 10% and your alt goes up 5% and you don't understand the market, you're super psyched that you're up 5% in dollars, but you don't realize that you've actually lost Bitcoin. When Bitcoin makes these huge moves, it's bad for alts. They may rise in USDT, but generally they lose against Bitcoin. So that's what happens. And that's what I've been talking about. As good as these relief bounces are in altcoins, we really want to see, I think, in my opinion, I really want to see Bitcoin break above 42K, make a really bullish move, exhaust, and then consolidate. And that's when altcoins, I think, become great. Part of risk management, you hear the memes about risk management, only risk 1% of your portfolio, all that stuff. The biggest part of risk management is knowing when and when not to trade altcoins, especially in this market, but when and when not to trade in general. And the scenarios for altcoins right now, and I said this on a stream like a week ago, I was with Urban Cheds and I was like, I don't see a great scenario for altcoins right now. We were sitting at 30,000. I was like, if Bitcoin dumps and breaks support, altcoins get hurt. If Bitcoin pumps big time, alts get hurt. And Bitcoin is sideways right now and alts have not done well. So just statistically, it's not the best situation for altcoins. But I do think that if you're trading on the USDT pairs, if Bitcoin continues to rage, you're going to see really great moves. I think 42K is the magic number because it's the highs of the entire run up from 20,000, right? We consolidated from January 8th in this for a full month in a very similar pennant, right? But of course, different because it was at the top, right? And then Tesla bought a 1.5 billion and we broke above. So that was the top of this entire run, in my opinion, up from 20, which had not been broken for years. Right? It took 3 years to break basically through that. So when we lost that, this is where a lot of us kind of expected, to me, this was sort of the bull bear line. As bullish as I am on Bitcoin, I've constantly said below 42K, it's a bearish scenario, short term. So for me, we got to get back above that. This is like the Elon Musk line, basically. It got us there above and then hurt us down below. But right now, this breakout should be sending us up there, assuming this does not get rejected by the end of the day. Yes, I was expecting to dump till 27K. Guess I was wrong, or maybe I'm early. Okay, so that could happen. Absolutely still on the cards. Nobody can tell you right now just because it went up that will not go. And yes, a lot of alts have moved well off their lows. I saw someone else mentioning that. That is true. But I tweeted about this the other day. I said, price hits 30 and you're waiting for 27, so you don't buy. Then it goes 27. You're like, oh, now that's 27. It's going to 20. So I'm going to buy there. That's people never buy the dip that they say they're going to buy. They're full of shit. Human beings, I don't know if you know this, but they're their own worst enemies. And they never do what they say they're going to do, especially when it comes to trading. If you think, hey, I'm waiting for 27 to buy, just start dollar cost averaging at 30, right? At least you'll have bought some before it went up, 20, 30%. So there's no reason to just wait to buy everything at one specific price. You should always be averaging in. Oh, guys, it's 30. It's got to go to 25. I'm going to buy there. I'm going to put everything in. I'm all in at 25. Holy shit, it went to 25 in one day. It's going to 15. I'm buying there. You know, when you buy, you'll buy at 65 when it breaks the all-time high. That's when you're going to buy. It's going to fall overnight. It might. So let's talk about what happened. Yes, it was a short squeeze. I agree for you guys. I'm not disagreeing. That's why I said we still got to get above 42K. I don't know if the dump's coming or not, but that was a technical move by traders. They squeezed shorts. $1 billion were basically liquidated, and that got priced to where it is. Now you need to see spot real buyers step in and buy. But when it was at 30, I talked about this so many times. I was pretty bullish at 30K. If you guys remember, I showed a lot of reasons why I thought price was going to go up. The fact that Ethereum was holding the bottom of the channel, all the on-chain metrics saying that it was still shorter term wallets selling into the hands of longer term wallets, huge wallets accumulating. So now we need to see follow through. Could absolutely still go down. Could absolutely still go down. I just don't see that right now, but it could very quickly, right? Very quickly. If people start piling in longs again, then that could be squeezed right back down. But if we start to see retail heavily shorting here again, because they think that's going to happen, that's how we go up. But people who have, people who say they're going to buy, they almost never do. And that's why I talk about it. Like I bought the dip from 57,000 down to 29. And when I bought, if you guys remember, when I bought from 40 to 30, those bids had been set like 2 weeks before. I didn't think they were going to ever fill, but I didn't lift them when price got there. I let them all fill. That's the difference between me and maybe a lot of other people. If I have a plan, I don't care how we get there. I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to take them. So the news on Amazon had nothing to do with the pump. It had nothing to do with the pump, and it's not even news. It's not even news. One reporter said that one dude who he talked to, who's an insider who might know something about Amazon but hasn't specified how, said that maybe Amazon's making a plan. I'm not saying Amazon's not doing it. I'm just saying there's no reason to believe that shit right now. That's not even news. It's conjecture. It's conjecture. Absolutely not news. And I hate to see it so much, right? Didn't we just see Facebook is going to announce Bitcoin on their second quarterly earnings? Apple, that was literally fake news that was like put up by a crypto Twitter account as a joke that went viral. This Amazon thing, until it says vice president of Amazon named such and such publicly says that the Amazon is making plans, then I'll talk about it. Otherwise, no. Right? Let's take a look at ETH. This is what I'm talking about. This is what happens to altcoins when Bitcoin makes a huge move, right? Lost support and broke down. Now, listen, none of this really matters. ETH is ranging, and more importantly, ETH is ranging at the top of a move. I've showed this before, but like, here was Amazon for the last year, right? It was ranging for a year at the top of a massive move, ranged for a year, broke out. I posted all this. This was in the newsletter. Look at that. This is the path I drew. I didn't know it would hit it exactly, but I said you buy the top of that range when it's retested as support. That's what's happening right now. But look at ETH, right? Similar idea. Of course, this is not at all-time highs. That was. But still, you have a big move up, and then you start to range. This should eventually break up. But right now, it's trading in the bottom half, and if Bitcoin moves big, you could lose this temporarily. Look at it on the USDT pair. This is the bottom, right? I said, listen, we have bullish divergence at the range lows. This is when Bitcoin was below and Ethereum USD was holding the range. I said, I don't think Bitcoin's going to dump because ETH looks like a buy here. That was at 1700. You had a couple times chances to buy ETH at 1700 with bullish divergence at support both times. Now, of course, we're overbought. We should see it cool down. So maybe if you're looking at ETH, you want to try to bid 2273. Listen, it lost it here. The EQ of the range failed here twice. But maybe it won't this time, right? But that was encouraging. Bitcoin had broken down, but ETH had not. And you know that ETH USD can't go up unless Bitcoin goes up, right? So the next of the top 10 is BNB. I mean, look at this dump. It's dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. And he'll look at the BNB USDT pair and be like, bro, I'm making money. Bro, like, look, like just today I went from 303 to 319. That's great. Look how much Bitcoin you're losing. Look at it. Just go on the daily. So yeah, your altcoin's doing really well. Got to look at the Bitcoin pairs when you're trading altcoins, in my opinion. But hey, that's just me. So I'm not interested in alts right now. I'm not interested in reducing my Bitcoin balance significantly. Maybe that's your thing. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with investing in alts here. I think the prices are pretty low, but like, I don't think that these look like good trades. These are falling knives. That looks bad. So maybe you bid around this area, 0.007816, right? And maybe, oh my God, my mouse is driving me nuts. I have to get a new one. Left-handed and doing it left-handed. So maybe you think this reverses if it goes through there, you know? Seems like a reasonable approach maybe to that. But right now it's bad. You want to catch a falling knife here. But below that, not much support. We'll look at these levels on the daily. Maybe there, maybe here. Okay, that's how I would approach BNB. And the USDT pair looks fine, but it's still ranging around the EQ of this smaller red range. Right? I mean, yeah, it's up these last few days, but Bitcoin's crushing it. You just saw that. So I don't see a reason to get in there. I'm going to tell you, we're going to see a lot of really good USDT pairs. ADA, Bitcoin right now, ranging at the range lows. Nothing to see. Again, nothing. But ADA USDT breaking out. Litecoin looks the same as this. That's nice on decent increasing volume. But like I said, you can buy this. You could have bought this breakout and retest right here, and you'd be pretty psyched. But if you had just stayed in Bitcoin, it would be better. But this does look good, and I would say that these are your kind of key levels around here. Let's see if I can get my mouse to work while we're here, while we're talking. I'm coming back over to the comments. We've made it through ADA so far. Says people are telling me to check the chart. 40K, yeah, in 40 is definitely possible. It's moving. Bitcoin's moving. You got to love that it was rejected here and is pushing through those highs. This is real buying, guys. This is real. So call me at 42. 40 would be nice, but we've been fooled by 40 too many times for me to deeply care, right? Can you put up your appearance setting, please? You can, any chart that I share, like in the newsletter and stuff, I know you can make them your own. I don't really know how to do that otherwise. FOMO time, someone just said, maybe. Oh my God, Becky, look at these levels. They're so big. They're just like out there. It's so round. They're just so black. That's Sir Mix-a-Lot for anybody who doesn't know that. What about alts just to get quick cash? I mean, alts to get quick cash. If you're talking about to get quick Bitcoin and you time it right, yes. But if you're trying to get quick cash and Bitcoin's outperforming, then use Bitcoin to get your quick cash. Bitcoin is pumping and Scott is not paying attention. I don't view 39.3 to 39.6 to be pumping. I don't. I don't. It's nice to see. Nice. What happened to you? Got nothing for you, bro. Got nothing for you there. Don't know what happened to me. I like big pumps and I cannot lie. That's right. That's what someone just said. They get it. This person get it. I like big corn and I cannot lie. Can you say something about XRP? Yeah, I'm about to do XRP right now. About to holler at that. Looks like a hot steaming dumpster fire of death. Beyond that, though, probably great. I mean, this is not a good chart. Not a good chart. Not a good chart. But if you want some hopium, there it is. You're at support. You're at support. Doesn't look good, but you are at support here. So perhaps you can get really excited about that. But there's nothing really to like here on the XRP Bitcoin chart, except for that this area is kind of support. If it breaks this, if it breaks down below where it kind of is now, you're looking at, I don't know, way down here. Another, 50%, 40% drop. Don't like it. XRP on the USDT pair totally looks fine, right? Bouncing off support because Bitcoin's up, but Bitcoin is up way more than this. Who cares about being up 61 to 66 cents when Bitcoin is up, 15% or whatever it is for the moment? I don't see a reason to touch XRP here. I don't. I think you're better off in the big boy at the moment. There's going to be some amazing alt opportunities. It's just like hard to identify which is going to be the one at the moment. I like to trade alts when they're all popping. I mean, look at Doge, just bad. And people are going to be like, Doge is amazing, bro. It's up like, no, it's dead ass flat. Dead flat. I'll buy Doge at 8 cents. This was Elon Musk obviously talking about Doge again on that call, so it went up. But I would love to buy Doge down here. I would consider that. Then have this head and shoulders breakdown. I'm sure it'll continue up because I think Bitcoin will do well. But I don't see much opportunity here. That was your opportunity to buy Doge, 16 cents, something like that. But on the Bitcoin pair, doing nothing. Maybe these are all reversed. Usually I do a live stream and then they all bottom. These are all at support. I will say that. This whole area is support. So, but you're catching falling knives here. Nothing's been reclaimed. DOT is next. I mean, yeah, coming back down towards support. Great. I mean, why? I love all these coins. I hold a lot of these coins. Definitely have a big DOT position. Earning 12% on Voyager. 12% interest on Voyager for DOT this month. And the USDT pair did bounce right off support here. Let's see if this is a thing still. I don't even like that range very much, but we'll hold it. Counts. This looks good. But again, it's a USDT pair. For all these, now I will say this. We know that none of these can go up without Bitcoin going up, right? The USDT pairs are not going to rage unless it's with Bitcoin going up. And they all look good. So to me, that means Bitcoin's going to continue up. That was the same thing I said about ETH. I said, yeah, maybe ETH is, Bitcoin's broken down, but ETH looked ready to rage there. So I said, Bitcoin can't really break down here if ETH is going to go up. And ETH went from 1,700 to 24. And I'm seeing that when you look at these USDT pairs, they're all bouncing and going up. So if they're going to do well, even though they won't do as well as Bitcoin, that means Bitcoin is going to probably go up. I mean, let's look at Uni. Terrible. Looks terrible. I don't know why it's on the hourly or why there's nothing on this chart. Hey, it'd be cool if I could use my mouse. That would be cool. Got something like that. I feel like Inigo Montoya in The Princess Bride. Like I'm doing this thing and I'm switching my mouse. And I'm like, well, I'm not left-handed. You kill my father, prepare to die. I'm not left-handed. I have a secret. Did you see the Bloomberg report on USDT? I briefly read over it. I know that they're concerned about the backing and that they're in some legal trouble. What's new? 5 years of listening to FUD about USDT that nobody seems to care about. Right? Why are states going after BlockFi and Voyager and not Voyager or other platforms? Well, first, we don't know if they will, but the issue is kind of interesting with BlockFi. Seemingly, it's a matter of the language. They have the BlockFi investment account, the BIA, and in BlockFi's like terms and services, I believe it says to the customer, you're purchasing the BIA, like the BlockFi interest account, right? And so because you're buying it and not investing or putting your money into it, they're saying that those terms mean that it's a security because it's a product that you're purchasing and therefore is a security, even though it's an interest account. And because you have to buy crypto to put it in there. So that's sort of the debate there. And I don't think that language is there for the others. Right. So that's why BlockFi is having so much trouble. Poor language. If it said invest in, they might not be having these problems. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out, but I am not sure. Yeah, 4-hour RSI at the highest it's been this year. It's I don't know if that's exactly true, but seems correct. Let's see. That's probably true. I would have thought it was a bit higher when it got to the peak, but oh my God, I'm so bad with my left hand. I'm not left-handed. Clearly, I am not left-handed because I'm tripping on the left hand. Yeah, it's the looks like it was higher. Oh yeah, this December got up to 90. So yes, it is the highest this year. That's going to eventually cool off. I mean, we know that, but that can cool off with price going sideways or consolidating, right? You could bull flag and have that come all the way down to 50. So I don't see that as wildly problematic. It just definitely is something to worth watching. Oh my God, I'm so bad at typing with my left hand, doing this with my left hand. So yeah, Matic 30-minute rubbing that resistance. I think we went through everything. I mean, I'm not seeing anything so spectacular. Matic, I did have queued up on the USDT pair. I'll look at that really quick because of this resistance, which might be what you're talking about. I mean, these look ready to explode. That's at resistance, but like a lot of alts are really pushing major levels and there's a lot of volume coming in. So people are trading these on Tether. Question is, do you think they'll beat Bitcoin? I don't see anything wrong with trading good setups on USDT. For me, I'd rather be in Bitcoin. I mean, what were we doing? We were looking at Uni right before my mouse just died again. Hey, mouse, don't make it bad. Yeah, breaking out. Everything's breaking out. I think Bitcoin's going to continue to rage based on these. What do I know? But like, it's pretty epically Chad daily potential candle here on massively increasing volume because that candle will close up here, this volume. I'm going to come back to the comments and talk to you guys because my mouse isn't working. It's annoying me. I think you might see 41K in just 1 hour. I mean, anything's possible. Daily RSI is about to break into overbought for the first time since February 8th. Yeah, I mentioned that before. We're seeing this is real major move and everything is pretty much overbought. If it goes to the daily overbought, we'll have overbought, I believe, on every time frame, daily and down. Bought the shit out of DOT at $10. Good job. What about Link? Let's look at Link. It's going to look the same. Spoiler, all the charts look the same. But let's take a little look-see. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Link, this one. Okay. I mean, it looks bad. It's crap. It's at support, kinda, I guess. Here's let me zoom that out. Yeah, I mean, Link's having an all right day, and you're going to look at the USD pair and be like, it's raging. It's flat. For me, it's flat. Up a little. But that looks better than most because at least it's a green candle today. And this is kind of a key support area it's bounced off of, right? You would look at this entire area, trying to use my right hand over here, something like this, right? All support. So that is good, but you're in resistance here now on the Bitcoin pair, I would say. Something like this. I don't know. We can maybe get a little more action, something like that. All right. So remains to be seen if that's going to work out or not. USDT pair. kind of looks like Bitcoin did, right? Broke the range lows and came back in. So this should be targeting at least $23, the mid of this range, but probably 28, which is the center of that range. So yeah, it looks good. All of this is going to be dependent on what Bitcoin does here, and Bitcoin looking pretty good. Looking pretty good at the moment, right? Okay, coming back to the questions. Why Chromia dropped today? I literally don't even know what Chromia is. How's XTC? I don't know. I haven't looked at it in 100 years. Crazy how fast momentum shifts can happen. It's true, but that's, when there's a lot of leverage in the market, things happen very, very fast. And this was a short squeeze. Somebody who had a lot of money, is very smart, went ahead and did that. Do you recommend Voyager? I use Voyager. I do recommend them. They have their issues like any other platform. They goes offline when there's a ton of volatility, and they had some problems scaling during the bull market, keeping up with new signups and stuff. But it's been an amazing, amazing platform for me. I would love to do a podcast with Elon Musk. We've tried. Strangely and surprisingly, he has not responded to me. My trip was amazing. I would really intend to be on vacation at all times if I could. I already did DOT. I just did DOT a little while ago. Could you just rewind a little bit? I don't know how people have the balls to leverage trade crypto. Well, I'm sure you guys saw, but FTX is removing all leverage above 20x. And now Binance followed suit, and Binance had up to 125 or something. So Binance now only 20x. So they are lowering the leverage. That's still pretty high, to be honest. But if you have good risk management, leverage is not the problem. Leverage is not the problem if you have good risk management. It's just that people don't have good risk management, and they use leverage to gamble. I have $1,000. I can bet with it like it's 10,000. Does that sound rationally smart to you? No, all you're doing is basically giving yourself a 10 times chance of losing your 1,000. Higher chance. Not a good idea. Unless you're very good. If you're great. I used to trade with, like I said, the amount of leverage doesn't really matter. I've stopped trading with leverage because Bitcoin went up so high and I was primarily spot. I don't see a reason at this point with my portfolio to ever trade with leverage again. But I like 5x, but I would trade up to basically 25. Listen, I would trade with 50x leverage. If my stop loss that I wanted, I would look at a setup, look at a chart, say, this is where I want my stop loss. This is what I want. And then based on that and your portfolio size, you decide your position size. If that stop loss is less than 2% below price because you've got a good entry, use 50x leverage and your stop loss is above your liquidation and you're fine. Doesn't matter. You're not going to get liquidated. The problem, you can't use liquidation as your stop loss, and you have to find your stop loss first. If your stop loss is 10% below price or 9% below price or whatever, use 10x leverage and don't get liquidated. It's not that hard, but people just don't do it. If you have a really tight scalp and, price is 10,000 and you think you're going to be invalidated at 9,985, use 100x leverage. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. So the leverage is irrelevant. So I don't have a favorite. It just depends on the setup. You should not choose the leverage in advance of choosing your trade. That doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. Jeff's late. And honestly, Jeff, I don't even know if we can be friends anymore. Yep, stop loss is the key. You got to do your homework. Right. That's the thing. If you're going to do a trade and you're deciding how much you're going to trade, like I want to buy this much or I'm going to use this leverage, and you've done that before you know where your stop loss is, you're doing everything wrong and backwards, and you need to stop trading right now until you learn. These should be the steps. Okay, you have your entire portfolio, say 10 grand. Say, I am willing to lose $200, 2% on any given trade. Okay, $200. You know that. $100 to $200 is probably the safe place to be where you can lose quite a lot and not take too much of a beating. Then you look at a chart and you say, okay, based on where I want to enter, you're probably not market buying, but if price drops to this level, my stop loss would be in this spot. Then you determine how much you would lose right? You determine your position size based on where you're putting that stop. That's how you find your position size and know how much you're going to lose. If you're doing it in any other order, you're doing it wrong. Your stop loss is the most important thing. You back calculate everything else based on where you're going to put your stop based on your entry. That's how it goes. Max would like you to know that Moon Boys are going to get wrecked and there's a massive dump coming. That could happen. That could be, that could happen. Let's see what Bitcoin looks like now. You guys are looking at it. I'm not. 39,781. Let's see if it can push through this blue area, man. One, two, three, four, one big. I mean, it's been rejected there a lot. So we're going to see what happens next time we interact with that area. Should I invest in Bitcoin now or is it too late? Okay. First, I'm not a financial advisor, so I do not give financial advice. But if you were my friend and you asked me and we were just hanging out, I would tell you you're getting Bitcoin at almost a 50% discount right now. Of course, it's a good time and it's not too late, with the caveat. You just got to be willing to hold for 10 years, maybe 20, maybe 40. If you're asking me that, and that's why nobody can tell you what to do with your money because only you know your situation. If you are investing with money that you need right now and you're going to be desperate in a month if it drops, no, you shouldn't be doing that. But as far as price with a long-term expectation as an investor and not a trader, I think that these are pretty spectacular potential prices here for Bitcoin. You know, and I would have said the same at 50,000. And I still think if you bought at 50,000, you'd be completely fine. Completely fine. But no, I do not think it's ever too late to invest in an asset that will trend up over time. It's made over 200% a year since it came into existence. Doesn't matter what the price is. People thought that it was too expensive at $1,000. People thought it was too expensive at $100. I thought it was really expensive at $5,000 when I had bought at $1,800. Everything is always too expensive for everyone. And that's why they never buy. And then they eventually FOMO in at the top. Right? Less toxic reaction. Scott must feel good. Yeah, I mean, people are happier. People are happier right now. What's the worst job you've ever had? I've had some pretty bad jobs, but my first job in high school was sampling dog food, which sounds like I was like eating it, but it's not. I stood in front of a pet store in like 110-degree Florida heat in a collared shirt, handing out pet food samples. That was a pretty crappy job. That job sucked. I made $8 an hour though, and that was in like 1990. So that was kind of a lot, I feel like. That's pretty good adjusted for inflation at this point. Tesla is announcing Q2 earnings today. Do you expect any news related to Bitcoin they have? Well, I mean, he made it pretty clear that they're not selling. Maybe they had sold some in the last quarter. I have no idea, but it seems like we will not find out that they've sold any. So the only question would be, are they buying any? Oh my God, Cardano 88 pumping hard. I bet that's not true. No, Cardano's dropped today against Bitcoin. It's pumping a little and way less than Bitcoin. As I said, it's all about perspective. Sure, it's pumping hard, but if you're just sitting in Bitcoin, it's pumping harder. Jeff puts ketchup on his hot dog. What's wrong with ketchup on a hot dog? Is that a thing? So yeah, and you know, like Bitcoin pumped yesterday. I don't think anything else relative has pumped that much, but some things maybe. I mean, this is epic. It's amazing because this happened a lot. You know, this move started last night, right at the weekly close, right? So it's amazing to see this follow through. Really, really impressive that, you know, basically a day later, we're still seeing price go up. It's really good stuff. I need to get a new mouse. This is going to drive me nuts. I looked at Matic already. Trying to see what other questions we got here. Here we go. 40K, DXY, bearish divergence. Let's look at DXY, the dollar, because as much as it's teetering on the edge of at least a short-term correction last I checked this morning. Yeah, in this ascending wedge, right? So if that comes down here, that should be good for everything. Stocks, metals, Bitcoin. I mean, my long-term feeling, this is the shorter-term feeling on the dollar, which looks pretty bullish. But if you look at it on the monthly, which I've shared so many times, I can't even count it, broke a channel that was in for 10 years. So this should be coming way down here. We know they're not going to stop printing money. I think the dollar eventually returns to those 70-something lows. When you zoom in, it looks pretty good, except for, maybe it breaks down a bit and comes back down to sort of this area, 91. Not that exciting. Which Bitcoin chart can we keep open here? Oh. You did not miss the VeChain chart, but I don't have it up. I hold Voyager's token because it gives me a 1% boost on my interest. It's amazing. So I like it. It's got actual utility for me. Super cycle confirmed. That's a bit hyperbolic and an exaggeration. I do invest in crypto mining stocks. I have Riot and Mara in my portfolio a little bit. Like I said, that's sort of like trading Bitcoin on leverage, but in the stock market. You get more upside and more downside. But right now, I really like mining stocks after China's gone offline. I'm also mining myself through Compass Mining. Looking here at your questions. Is MicroStrategy up 27%? I mean, listen, MicroStrategy, same thing, right? If Bitcoin goes up 15%, MicroStrategy is going to go up 25%. It's another way to get sort of a leverage position without getting liquidated, is to trade MicroStrategy, potentially Coinbase, potentially mining stocks. Yeah, mining stocks are sweet. If you're long-term bullish on Bitcoin and you can buy mining stocks after China went offline and difficulty went down, it seems like a pretty good bet to me. Bull run continuing, or this can be a possible dead cat bounce. I would say above 42K convincingly. Then I'll try to tell you that the bull run is continuing. For now, I would say we have a first step. Our first step being that we're above the EQ of this channel for the first time since, early in June, really, or mid-June, and very convincingly. But I really want to be above all of this before I will tell you that I think, and then if we can make a higher high, these are all lower highs, right? All the way down. So we need to make a higher high, in my opinion, and then we can start talking about renewed bull runs and such. Don't want to get too excited yet. Square didn't go up, someone said, but Square's got like 1% of their treasury in Bitcoin. It's not really that convincing. It's not enough. Not enough. Dead cat bounce. Are you serious? This much longer afterwards? I don't really know what that means. It's still lower high, so it could absolutely still be a dead cat bounce. Are we going to close the CME gap? Nothing is stupider than CME gaps. CME gaps are stupid. You heard it here first. I'll talk about them because other people do, but CME gaps are stupid. They only exist because the CME doesn't trade on the weekends and Bitcoin does. You literally almost always have a gap. So maybe it'll close and then everyone will say, see, bro, you're such an idiot. CME gaps matter. All gaps matter, except for CME gaps. They don't really matter. They don't matter. They're stupid. There's still CME gaps like at 3,000 or something. If we fill those, none of us are going to be here. I'm going to be live streaming to 7 people going, bro, Bitcoin's still going to 100K by October. It's great. All right. Because we all know that I'm mega bull. It is what it is. Thank God people who call CME gaps are idiots. I don't think they're idiots. It's a decent narrative. Gaps are a real thing, but gaps in normal markets are not a result of the asset in one place and another place being traded differently. Like a gap that fills on a stock that's just that stock and has a gap for some fundamental reason is more likely to fill. Nature abhors a vacuum, right? So it comes down and fills gaps. But like Bitcoin doesn't stop on the weekend and the CME does. Unless it opens at almost the exact same price, you're almost inevitably likely to see a gap. So whatever. It's dumb. Did we hit 40K? You guys are talking about it. 39,996. 39,970. Should I call it out like an announcer? It's going to depend on what exchange you're on, I'm sure. Anyways, I watch Bitstamp, by the way. Bitstamp to me is where whales trade, so that's where I'm watching it. Look, getting rejected here at the moment again. It's a strong area, no joke. Yeah, it's on the cusp. Cusp ain't confirmation, is it? Not a. Do you mean synthetics like generally, like derivative products? I'm not really sure what you mean. Sorry. Yes, we can keep pumping with RSI so overheated. Totally possible. The daily still has room to go and can push pretty endlessly. So, but at some point with all of this listen, I pointed out last week that everything was oversold and people remained bearish. They were wrong, but like, yeah, you can still have some movements. Gaps are caused by markets that take weekends off. Well, also stocks close every day, so they take the night off too. Stocks trade not most of the time, right? Stocks are closed most of the time. When do you sell? I don't sell Bitcoin anymore. I made that mistake before. Will regulators be going? I don't even know what mirror protocol is, so I have no idea. Regulators are going to regulate, much like Warren G and Nate Dogg. They have to regulate, right? Gary Gens are going to regulate. Somehow that song always comes up. But yes, there's going to be regulation, not specific to mirror report. I can guarantee you, if I don't really care about mirror protocol, that the SEC does not have it particularly on their radar. They're going to regulate an umbrella, and all of these smaller protocols are going to find their place in it, right? Let me see. The whales hold the price here, selling off some of their stock that they just bought up until they want to move up to 42K to get their liquidity pools. I assume that means you think they're going to go down. Yeah, in a bull market, RSI, in a bull or bear market, clearly, I can't click on I had it here, but yes, RSI can run very hot and pretty endlessly. Here's the comment I was looking for. I like to look for the divergence to show that there's going to be a reversal, not the amount of overbought or oversold. To me, that's the signal. That's why I use RSI in that way. Got a Bone fan? Tell me what you gonna do. Miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. This person says Bitcoin's dumping. Bitcoin is dumping. Yes, it went from 39.99 to 39.86. What is happening? When do you reckon to start looking for alt short positions? 3 months ago. Probably 3 months ago. 2.5 months ago. I think shorting now is kind of the bottom end. What is the wash sale rule for crypto? As of right now, there is not a wash sale rule for crypto, but that could change. What does that mean? Well, if you're trading stocks in the United States, if you sell a stock, you cannot take a write-off if you buy it back within 30 days. They're preventing people from just using it as a tax write-off. So you have to wait 30 days to buy it back lower to be able to take the tax write-off. That does not exist in crypto right now. So for example, if you bought Bitcoin for the first time at $65,000, it dropped to 30, you could sell it at 30, take that $35,000 loss, immediately buy back at 30, have a new cost basis at 30 and no taxable gain. So you have the same exact Bitcoin position, one Bitcoin, but you have now losses to write off any gains against moving forward. It's really sweet. So you've had a chance to do that for quite a long time now if you were going to, and that's a uniquely United States thing. But yeah, you can harvest for taxes. They call it tax harvesting, basically. Do you think we'll have a Bitcoin correction soon, or are we straight up from here? We're still in a correction. That's what I don't understand. We're still in a correction. We're not even out of this range yet. Maybe it'll come down to 36. I don't know. Possible. Test the EQ. But yeah, I think we're still in a correction. So I don't really know. Dude, I'm stressing. I gotta go. My mouse is broken. Things are going bad here. I'm gonna come here, take one or more. For me, the right time to sell depends on the asset and when you bought. You can't answer that question sweepingly for anyone. If you bought Bitcoin at $1 and it went to 65,000, maybe that was the right time to sell for you. If you bought at 65,000, 30 was probably not the right time to sell for you. Here's guy show us how to properly set the fibs. Last swing low to top wick. It depends on the move of what you're setting fibs for. There's a weekly, right? Where was that chart I had? There. So I pulled fibs from the total lows of 3,800 up to the highs. That was those fib levels. Try to do this with my left hand. If you want to get a fibs on this move, you pull from the 65 high. Let's change the colors of those. My God, that's hideous, horrible. So like if you want to get fibs as targets for the way up, pull the 100 here and then down to here at the 0 at the lows, and then you retrace up, right? That's how you pull fibs. You can do it on any move. You can do it from here to here. You can do it from this low to this high, right? There's a million ways to draw fibs. 6 million ways to die. Choose one. So yeah. Oh, you can't see it. I'm talking to myself. Yes. Go share your screen, Scott, you dummy. What I said was we had our fibs from 3,800 down here, right, up to 65. So you can see those levels. So what I did here, what I was talking about and not showing you guys because I'm a Nimrod, was I pulled fibs from here, the 65 high, down to like this 28.8 low. And now you can see them retrace back up. Those are the blue ones over here. Cool story, Scott. You're an idiot. Idiot. You're up there, you're talking, and there's nothing else. None of us can see your fib lesson, bro. It's because it wasn't a planned fib lesson. Sometimes I go off script, bro. I don't even know what you guys are going to ask me. Don't even know what you guys are going to ask me. So, guys, before we go, once again, please check out Kava. They are amazing. Down in the description. Click on the link. Show them you care. Show them you care. It's amazing. It's good stuff. But, you know, I got to go. Got places to do and things to see. And I don't know. Actually, I met a really nice guy named Nimrod recently. I had him on my channel, but that used to be an insult when I was a kid. You Nimrod. You Nimrod. Yeah. So, you guys, this was fun. Thank you. Love you all. I'm going to get a new mouse right now. Peace.
Let's go.